never really know. I mean, it's like it's kind of.
I love that movie, Justin. Like, whoa,
wait, okay, we're there.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to CNA Weekend Recap. Justin, Josh, Ken, coming to you as always from the Geek Cave, and we got some stuff to talk about tonight. Nothing earth-shattering, but I guess let's start with the world of DC, because a lot has kind of changed since the three of us have been in here.
Yeah. Good news for DC.
Yeah.
The best case scenario, in my opinion.
Probably the first good news we've had from DC in a while.
Like
really.
A decade, yeah.
So, you know, as we all know, James Gunn has now stepped in as CEO of DC. You know, we were talking shit when Hamada left because it was like, you know, they're flying through CEOs, and suddenly Gunn, who we all love, who we all know can do a good job, is in control. And I think that's the best case scenario.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, most people really liked Suicide Squad. Peacemaker was very well received.
Yeah. Right.
Incredible.
I giggle when I think about Peacemaker. I can't help it.
Do you immediately think, do you want to do
it? Yeah. Greatest intro to any show ever.
So yeah, obviously the tone of DC will change. It's no longer the DCEU. The first thing he did was come in and say, shorten it to DCU. So I mean that he's learned from his competition.
Mm-hmm. He's worked for both. He's worked for the other guy, the big successful guy. Yeah. And so it's like, oh my gosh, why didn't we do this 5 years ago?
He's been in those rooms with Kevin Feige because he collaborated not just the Guardians movies. He worked with Taika on Ragnarok. Yes. He worked with the Russo brothers on Endgame and Infinity Wars. Oh. Yep. He knows how to blend a universe.
Yes, he executively produced everything cosmic in the Marvel universe.
Yeah. So we're, you know, and I'm sure we're probably never going to see him direct anything in the MCU again, which is disappointing, but understandable.
I think that's good. I think he had his time. He's had 3 movies. A lot of influence on others. I mean, that's good. Get out, you know, the old line. You either die a hero or live long enough to be the villain. Taika Waititi has learned this.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Is I hope we still get the bang with the Guardians, the holiday special, and Guardians 3, because he still has to finish those up.
Yeah.
Before he kind of officially moves along and becomes, you know.
They're mostly finished. I think they're doing editing for Guardians. So I mean, it's wrapped filming.
Just hope he didn't Taika it. You know,
are we now verbing his name?
God, we have to. Because that guy hurt all of us. He did. He did some magical shit. And then it's like
Love and Thunder was thundered it.
We loved him, and then he thundered us.
Yeah, let's not completely bail on Taika, but right now let's say he Love and Thundered it.
I like that. I do like that. But yeah, so we're looking forward to what he's doing.
But what's really interesting about what we've heard in the wake of this announcement, in the wake of 2 things I want to talk about, one positive and one negative. Yeah. Let's hit the positive first.
Go ahead. It's you. You've been jonesing for this from the beginning.
To me, the positive is Henry Cavill. He, in an interview, was effusive about how happy he is with the freedom he's been told that Gunn's going to give him to tell a happy, bright, positive Superman story before delving into the anti-life equation Superman. 2 things confirmed there. Yes. We will get a Superman, a Man of Steel 2, where we will see that bright, shining example on the hill, the Boy Scout, the Man of Steel. But we're also going to continue the Dark Side storyline.
Right. And I mean, I think
best case scenario.
You have to, because, you know, it's established in everybody's head as canon, the Snyder cut of Justice League. So we know it's out there, and it's just, you can't just walk away from that.
It's so much better. I mean, if you're going to take something out of canon, take the 17 Justice League out. It's garbage. It did nothing to add to the canon. It was, I don't know.
It made no sense. I rewatched it. It makes no fucking sense.
We've been recently rewatching the entire DCU. We replaced it with Justice League Snyder Cut. I didn't even watch it.
I will say one thing I also really like about Gunn is when he came in, people were asking if we're going to get the Ayers cut of Suicide Squad, and he said we're not looking backwards. We're looking forward. So anything that's happened, you know, whether you liked it or loved it, he's looking to move the DCU in the direction.
Did we not read something earlier today that countered that?
Did it?
Yes.
I thought it was a tweet from him saying that they weren't going to be doing that.
No, it hinted that there was an amazing story to be told, and we may still see it.
Yeah, he did not rule it out.
The haircut could still come, and it could be worked into canon.
It needs to, because that.
I don't know. I'm
gonna
just
be
happy
so
with the
fucking bad.
second Suicide Squad movie. Be done with it. That's the real one, as far as I'm concerned.
I've recently watched the original Suicide Squad.
Same.
And there are some things that are, like you say a lot of times, 50% of it's awesome, 50% of it was crap. There are some good performances in that.
There are.
Margot
I'm
Robbie
shitting on that.
freaking kills as Harley Quinn.
Every time.
Pimp Slap McGee is great as Deadshot.
All right, well, we got a new nickname for Will Smith now.
And apparently it's Irish. That's okay.
There were
It's
black
fine.
Irish, but they were mostly dark-haired white guys. But whatever, we'll go with it.
All right, moving on.
Don't slap me. But no, I do agree with you. There are a lot of really good parts of Ayers or Ayers or however you want to say it, Suicide Squad. I loved Captain Boomerang. I thought he was great. I was sad they killed him off. You know, and there were good performances. The story, the villains were just the worst parts for me. That was an
The
absolute
Enchantress
tragedy.
was sweet, goddamn ridiculous.
Hula Hoop McGee. Yeah, if you watch the movie, once she becomes
Oh, I
Enchantress,
know.
she's like slow motion hula hooping the whole time. It's awful.
Oh God. Okay, so
Anyway, so to the negative of this new direction. The power and ego of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson could torpedo this all.
Yeah.
He has said he is rumored to be arguing with Gunn because Gunn sees a direction that focuses on what he called the Big Five: Superman, Batman, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and Harley Quinn. And he envisioned a DC universe that was based around Black Adam. And to me, that shows his ego and his lack of knowledge of the source
It's
material.
literally never happened.
He's not even a top flight villain.
no, he it's more that he doesn't leave his country, and that he defends the border, and anything that crosses into it immediately is destroyed. Everything else outside is not his problem.
He's also rumored to have hated Shazam and not keen on the idea of fighting him because he'd have to lose.
yes, he would.
I mean, if it's true that his contract literally says he can't lose a fight, how is that going to work in the DC universe? You're a subpar villain.
I wouldn't say subpar, but just a rarely used villain. They almost never use
It's the
Black
same
Adam,
thing,
really.
man. I mean,
All right, I get it.
He's
But-
not a threat to Superman.
No,
he
and
never has been.
That's what
Because
he's...
Shazam's not a threat to Superman. And so that's canon, is the fact that Shazam and the wizard powers, Black Adam, all of them, Superman's like the only thing that they have. Superman is vulnerable to magic.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing that the Shazam type powers have on him. But he's always overcome
And
it.
it's fairly limited magic. It's not like Dr. Fate's level of magic where you can literally bend reality. I mean, it's the magic of those six gods. It's not unlimited. I was afraid of this when they cast The Rock in this role because I'd heard of this contract he had. They talked about it when he was in the Fast and the Furious movies. He has it in his contract. He cannot lose a fight.
Which I think is a shame and kind of surprises me a little bit because
It's kind of simple.
It
It's
goes-
like
it goes back to the
Ego.
days when he was, working in wrestling.
ego you gotta have. You put that in a fucking contract. Finish what you're saying. I'm sorry.
Sorry, no, I don't understand that because clearly in story arcs in wrestling, at some point you have to lose. Like that's just part of it.
Even John
You get
Wayne and
used to
Clint
it.
Eastwood died in some movies.
Yeah, so I don't really understand that kind of thing. Like, what does that mean that you won't lose it? Well, if it is better for the story, yeah, take the fucking L. Who cares?
It's like I said, that I'm afraid that the DCU cannot survive in the same room with that ego.
We'll see what happens.
And James Gunn's gonna have to be really strong because I mean we heard he went straight to that David Zaslav to get Superman in that movie. If he's got that kind of pull with the CEO of Warner Brothers, you know, he could cause trouble.
You know, everything's changed hands. Everything's different now because Discovery is the new kid in town, so to speak, or the new boss in town.
Right.
And so it's like,
But that's the CEO he apparently went to get Superman reshot into Black Adam. But David Zaslav has also gone on the record saying he believes that the DC universe runs through Superman and Batman.
Yeah.
As it should be.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's a given. You know,
Superman
that's
is the first superhero. And
Right.
it's like he's all superheroes. Marvel, DC, I don't give a shit who we're talking about.
Yeah.
Superman.
They're the first two.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens with it. I'm hoping Gunn starts being very successful and starts, gaining his own pull.
Hey,
He doesn't have
I'll
to.
tell y'all something that will be very shocking to you. You already know this, but I recently watched Aquaman again, and I was not finding it as easy to criticize this before. I dare say I enjoyed watching it.
That is a big statement from this man if you've watched this show for any amount of time. Yeah, read Ken's face in this moment.
Who is this guy? Is he gone missing at any point? Maybe been replaced?
People.
Right. What's really going on?
Anyway, so there's hope and a little trepidation for the DC universe moving forward. But
I got nothing but hope and love for the situation. I think I think Gunn can be the Feige that DC has needed. They thought Snyder was the Feige. Not to bring up Feige, but I mean, he's kind of a standard.
Yeah, that's what everybody compares to. Just
But anyway, I think Gunn could easily be that guy.
I hope so.
Yeah.
As
They all
a
do.
DC fan, I mean, I hope so. I want the DC universe to be as good as Marvel. I want to go in every time expecting to see a great movie.
Yeah.
We
Instead
all win here. I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, this is.
and we get Henry Cavill back as Superman.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully going forward, how he's going to shape it, because
Oh, the rumor that he's bringing back Ben Affleck for a 3-movie run.
I have not seen that.
These guys are aging out. Let's get this shit
Well,
done.
yeah,
Get it
apparently
done
they're
now.
going to bring him back for his Batman movie, which apparently they're bringing back Joe Maggs
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Deathstroke.
for
Yeah.
Deathstroke. So the rumor is he's going to get his movie where he goes up against Deathstroke. Deathstroke will then be pulled into Amanda Waller's other team, which I'm blanking on the name.
Checkmate.
Checkmate.
Yeah.
So that's the rumor. And then from there, he will be part of Justice League 2 and Justice League versus the Suicide Squad.
Interesting.
We burning daylight. Let's get this shit done now.
Yeah.
What are we waiting on?
I mean, I'm fine with it. Deathstroke is a great villain for Batman. Just in comparison, it's wonderful. And Joe Manganiello, even that little short we saw him in, I thought he was great as Deathstroke.
Looks like just like the freaking.
He does, yeah.
He
That's the
does. He
thing.
kind of fits it better than anyone we've seen.
So I'm looking forward if that's what they go through with. It'll be interesting to see, because Checkmate is kind of similar to Suicide Squad, but they have a lot. They're not bombing planted. They're kind of their own spy agency in a sense. So it'll be
We're
interesting
more willing.
how they separate the two. It's not just Suicide Squad, B Squad. or
Guns
something.
for hire.
Yeah, kind of. So
Mercenary
that'll be
team.
interesting.
So next we want to talk Andor.
Yeah, I was gonna jump into Star Wars.
Sure.
Okay.
Star Wars.
So Andor is dark.
Yeah.
I just caught up and finished the most recent episode, and it's the darkest thing I've ever seen in the Star Wars universe.
But it's so real. That's what I love about it.
It is.
It's the human
frighteningly-
condition. It's like this
frighteningly
is
real.
how an empire would treat these prisoners. This. Oh gosh.
But not even that. Just
terrifying.
Right.
everybody under their control. There's no questioning it.
You
and
see
even the act of
the
questioning.
grip of the Emperor on the universe.
Such a wonderful job building the angst and resentment toward the empire.
Yeah.
This is just good shit for me.
And they brought Saul Guerrero back. We saw him. He's been around all this time. And I love the discussion he had with Skarsgård character.
Did you do it?
Yeah. Well, not even that, but that there are all these rebel groups, but they all have philosophical differences, so they're not willing to work together.
Yeah.
And he realizes that to have any chance, they all have to work together. You know, that's the only way it can be done. And he's the one trying to pull everything together.
And then to know that we see that beautifully executed on screen in 5 seasons of Rebels, which to me is the best Star Wars there is. Yeah, I go back and watch Rebels, and it's chef's kiss. It's fucking wonderful.
And I'm really enjoying watching the fomentation of the rebellion. These base seeds that lay the ground for what we know is coming.
And the Skarsgård saying this is what we have to do. We have to make them tighten the noose so people will realize how awful they are.
Yeah.
So when you slowly wrap your hand around someone, they don't know that it's happening. We need it to happen quick constriction so they feel it.
Yeah. And, it's an incredibly dark way to do things, but he's right. It's the only way for it to be done.
It's just so profound. This grassroots version of what's happening in the universe. I'm not going to articulate my point good enough. I had too much of that. But anyway, I love Andor.
Yeah, it's good, and I'm pumped for what we see Cassian Andor coming out of prison clearly with a grudge against the Empire and joining up with the rebellion. I mean, I think we all know that's where that's headed.
Yeah, because we know what happens.
Yes.
Sometimes I have a problem with prequels. I know what's he's going to be sitting on that water with her, and he's going to get wiped out. And
he sounded so exhausted.
Yeah. I'm tired of seeing my heroes die. Play my song, Johnny.
Now we're talking Star Wars.
Yeah.
Justin hasn't watched Tales of the Jedi yet.
So we're not going to get into details.
I'm not going to spoil it.
Apparently it's awesome.
Yes, it is.
So awesome. It's so good. I told them, I was like, I didn't think Filoni could make me love Ahsoka Tano anymore. But he did. He did. And he did such a good job with it.
Oh, and so much more is coming for her.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As Justin said, what are they doing for us? Come on.
I don't remember.
Justin said, yeah, Ahsoka, they're lathering us up for her show. Which is about the grossest way you can put that.
I mean, I'm okay with that.
Come on.
Just to be clear, you're talking about is lathering up Ahsoka Tano.
I'm thinking about Rosaria Dawson right now. I can't help it. Specific.
But anyway, Tales of the Jedi, it's really good. They're short animated episodes. The longest are 2 that are 16 minutes. Most of them are 11 or 12 minutes. And they just show little vignettes of life in the Jedi, and they're very well done.
So good.
Well voiced, well animated, and they're great. I want more of them. That's all I can say.
Chastised. I will watch it this week.
Damn. Not bad, Justin. We don't do that outside.
What else did we want to talk about? Josh finished House of the Dragon.
I did. So whatever they said last week, I'm sure I agree with it. Or a couple weeks ago when I walked of shame out of here, it was good. Matt Smith is terrifying, which is the strangest thing.
You know what's terrifying? That fucking dragon.
Yeah.
The big fucking
Jesus Christ. It ate the other one like it was a Tic Tac.
Yeah.
It ate the other one, and the pieces were like spiraling, and it looked down like, that's right, bitch. It was like, it's just like collided with it and it exploded. I love the hell out of this show. I know it was kind of wish-washy, but for a lot of people, but I mean, the family dynamic of it and the acting, and then here at the end, it really brought it home for me. I enjoyed this show.
It's set up for a great second season. A lot of times they'll have a cliffhanger into season, and you're not like, I don't know where they're going. We know where they're going. We know what's going to happen.
It's another one of those. I know who's going to die, how they're going to die.
But it's just going to be good. So looking forward to it. Can't wait. Same kind of thing. I compare that with, the Lord of the Rings show, Rings of Power, because it came out at the same time, both medieval-based kind of deal. So, yeah, just looking forward to that second season of both of those.
What else did we have?
Marvel wise, I think only one of the rumors we got. Aubrey Plaza has been cast in some unknown role in Marvel.
In the Agatha show.
Yeah. So
as the villain.
Yeah, which is interesting because I thought Agatha was the villain.
Anyone who has seen Legion should be pretty excited by that.
This is true. And anyone who hasn't seen Legion, go fucking watch Legion.
Yeah, shame on you.
It was Marvel / X-Men before.
Kind of the best X-Men stuff that Fox ever did.
Mm-hmm. So well done. It was.
It's X-Men meets 12 Monkeys. It's amazing.
Yeah, God, that's a really good way of putting it. Daniel Craig is supposedly in talks to play Balder in a Disney Plus TV show. Anybody who
Balder spinoff, right?
Yeah, it's him alone. That's
a weird turn.
It is, but I like that they're bringing him in. Anybody who doesn't know Balder, he is one of the Norse mythology family. He is immortal, but not in the sense the other gods are. He literally cannot be killed by anything other than mistletoe. That's his only weakness.
Perfectly normal.
Yeah. Well, look, what happened was
like a great show. It's like.
Do you think this is how they introduce or further introduce Roy Kent
as Hercules?
He's here.
He's there.
He's every fucking way.
Hercules. You gotta write that down. I think I like Balder as a character within mythology. I don't know what they're gonna do with him. And Daniel Craig also kind of an older actor, so he's not gonna be around that long.
He ain't that old.
Well, I know he's not that old, but I think he's older than Chris Hemsworth and Tom Hiddleston. And Balder was the little brother.
Netflix is putting all their MCU changes stuff. I mean, Netflix is putting a lot of money in the faith that he's going to live a while so he can do lots of Knives Out movies.
Which I'm fine with. It was a great movie and a great character. We got casting as Wonder Man.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What's his name?
Black Manta.
Yes. I'm not even going to try.
Yaha Abdul Mateen. He's the guy who was in Watchmen. He was also in Aquaman as Black Manta.
Yeah.
So he's a good
By
actor.
the way, one of the parts, the second on the rewatch of Aquaman, I mean, that is Black Manta we always wanted to see. It was visually stunning, powerful. And those scenes where he was in it were awesome.
His dialogue was so dumb.
I mean, DC sucks at dialogue.
It's like you tell Aquaman's like, our reputation precedes us. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck.
See what I'm saying?
We've got rumors about Fantastic Four, possible casting for Doctor Doom and Mr. Fantastic. What's the guy's name?
Diego Luna. Oh, we just talked about Andor.
Andor.
We're talking about casting Andor. The rumors that he's in talks with Marvel. And it's like, is he
I know
Mr. Fantastic?
We get blasted a lot when we talk about height of characters and it shouldn't matter. But Mr. Fantastic should be tall and lanky.
Well, I mean, Adam Driver also is in, talks to play
At
Mr.
least he's
Fantastic
tall
or
and
Doctor
lanky.
Doom.
Mm-hmm.
I like Adam Driver as an actor. I don't necessarily close my eyes and see him as Reed Richards, but he is a damn good actor.
He is.
Yeah, I don't see either of these guys as a Reed Richards. I think either one of them could be Doctor Doom, though.
Yeah.
I think I'm just thinking about it, and if I were not allowed, you're spitballing. I think I'd rather see Adam Driver as a Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
He's
honestly,
established actor for sure.
Mm-hmm.
He's an Oscar-nominated actor.
Yeah. And these are just rumors and talks, and we don't know if any of this is real at all.
True.
So, it's take it with a grain of salt.
It's got to come soon. I mean, that movie's, 2 years away?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're going to start getting
We gotta
definitive
hear
casting at some
gotta hear
point.
some
those
casting
rumors, but
soon.
they probably already got it casted. It's in pre-production.
Nobody's talking about it.
Better be John Krasinski.
And Emily Blunt is Miss Fantastic. Sue Storm.
I don't so much care about that. But
I think
I really
the boat
want
just
to see
sailed on that
Krasinski.
one, guys.
You know what? We got him in that one movie, Hope's Alive.
Fair. I think the last thing we can talk about is some sauciness and crankiness from old man Tarantino, talking about he and other real directors can't wait for the day superhero genre dies because they're terrible movies.
It's official. Whatever line of age it is the director has to cross to become a crotchety old little bitch is where we've gotten with Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, 100%. You know, it was the same with Scorsese.
We're worried about what we like, and we're worried about sitting on your own balls, you old bastard.
Don't jerk off to some foot fetish porn, all right?
That was
your
for
thing.
Justin.
You know, you're right. All of these old directors are, oh, well, I can't make a hit movie anymore because it's not as good as my Marvel.
It's generational, though. It's like, you know, it's like talking to my dad trying to show him Iron Man. You know, it's like he didn't get it.
But the thing is, those movies never made $1 billion to begin with. They're just mad that there are movies out there making $1 billion. Because look at Guy Ritchie. Guy Ritchie still makes amazing movies.
Mm-hmm.
He understands he's only going to make $200-300 million,
Yeah.
but he makes great movies that still get critical acclaim and people go watch them. The Gentleman is one of the best movies of the last 10 years.
100%.
You can still make great movies that aren't popcorn films. There have always been popcorn films. We've just mastered them in the form of the MCU.
So
And that pisses these old fucks off.
And I don't get it. Nobody's stopping you from making films. You know, Guy Ritchie could walk to a studio tomorrow and be like, I want to make this movie. And they're like, yeah, go ahead. And just give him a blank check. Let him go.
Before, why don't they take this genre and apply some of their excellence to it? It's like, step into it and make it better instead of shitting on it.
He went as far as to say he insulted every director that's ever done, Marvel stuff, saying that they're just hired hands and he won't be a hired hand. I mean,
I'm sure Pulp Fiction has made $1 billion by now, but it probably took it 20 years to get there.
Yeah.
Marvel movies make $1 billion in a year.
And that's nothing against Pulp Fiction. It's
one
of
of
the
greatest movies ever.
Alexa, turn off the Office fan.
You know, I think it's a case of, like you said, you cross a certain age and you kind of age out of what's popular with a younger generation. So you just shake your fist hard at the youngins.
And that's not even the case, because outside of the Hateful Eight, everything Quentin Tarantino has done has been well received and freaking wonderful.
Yeah.
Django Unchained is a masterpiece. Most people love it. The Inglourious Bastards is this wonderful piece of alternate fiction, alternate reality fiction. Even the one he did with the Manson family. I mean, he has a place in cinema. Why's he got his shit on the place he doesn't belong?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I think it just irritates him for whatever reason. And, you know, what irritates me about it is the directors doing these movies are good directors. You know, he can say they're hired guns, but they do a great
There's
job.
some massive talent in these movies.
Yeah.
Oscar winners.
Zack Snyder.
James Gunn, the Russo brothers. I mean, these are not like...
even the early stuff with the Avengers, Whedon. I mean,
yeah.
The first Avengers is the landmark film.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Mostly holds up, too.
They just, we talked about this when Scorsese came out and was saying the same thing. It's just, whatever.
Cameron.
Sour grapes is what it
Cameron
is.
recently crapped on it, too.
Sour grapes is what it is.
He just wanted people paying attention to his Blue People movie.
I'm not even going to go see that one. I don't care.
I mean, I'm going to go see it.
Okay, that's fine. Avatar, yeah, it was good, but I remember nothing about it almost. So
It wasn't that good. It was beautiful visually, but the plot had been done before.
I mean, just because it was live action Fern Gully.
I would have gone with Dances with Wolves. Unobtained.
But it didn't have that cool ass villain that Fern Gully had. You remember that skeleton tar creature? That shit was awesome.
Also didn't have a rapping bat.
Voiced by Robin Williams. Boom.
I'm gonna say every movie would be improved with a rapping bat.
Oh yeah.
Like imagine Schindler's List if there was a rapping bat in that. Like, come on.
Yeah, I'm not touching.
Yeah, I was trying to think of the most offensive way I could go with
You
that.
landed it.
Woo! Wiggle, buddy.
The only way you could have gone worse would be Passion of the Christ.
Oh damn! Imagine him perched on top of the cross when he's dying and he's rapping about Christianity.
So, great show, guys. It's a great show, guys.
or one of the VeggieTales characters doing it. 'Cause they're Christian, right? They sing stuff about, Christianity.
Okay, let me bring this back on. Can you end anything right now?
I was.
Into running from the camera right now, it seems to me.
Josh, you into anything that doesn't involve what we were just talking about?
No. And I'm just joking, people. Come on. Not like you might watch it anyway, but it's okay.
In case they are.
We're not anti-Semitic, just for the record. We just make
The
really
opinions
bad
of
jokes.
the opinions expressed by Josh on the show do not necessarily represent the opinions of Justin or Ken.
They also don't represent my opinions either, but
Were you into something? Did you have anything? I don't remember.
I broke Ken's brain.
Yeah. I've been binging the show Ghosts, and I've caught up to reality Ghosts on CBS. Really funny show.
Is that the one where the ghosts live in the house?
Yes, and the girl has
I've
like
watched
a
it.
near-death experience and can see him and talk to him.
Yeah, Aaron watches it.
It's
I've
a
watched
really
it.
quality comedy. I'm enjoying the heck out of it.
I've watched it just because I'm in the room when it's on. It's like
It's clever.
It's clever.
Oh, actually, yeah.
They get sucked off.
Okay, you're gonna have to explain that one to the camera.
Wait, what?
And Ken, apparently.
Okay, so these are ghosts that are trapped on Earth. They haven't gone off to heaven or gone to hell, and they've all lived on this property since they died. And it's just this little collective of dead people, and they come up with terminology, vernacular for things. And when you go to heaven, they say you've been sucked off. And if someone goes to hell in front of you, they went down on you. Ken doesn't like fun.
It's not my first choice. I mean, I watch fun. I watched this show we talked about. I watched the episode where she was trying to save the tree, and that wouldn't like.
Yeah,
I watched that one the other day. It's like, but it's just.
I forgot, actually. I have been watching a new show that's real good science fiction. Ken's watching it as well.
Yeah, it's that.
The Peripheral on AMC.
Worth your time.
Yeah. It's based on a novel by William Gibson, who is one of the founders of cyberpunk fiction, literally created the term The Matrix, stars Chloe Grace Moretz. We haven't seen her in a while. She's a wonderful actress, and it's well worth your time. So
I think
check
it's
that out.
Amazon, not AMC.
Oh, yeah, sorry. It's Amazon Prime. My apologies.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. But yeah, check it out. It's good.
All right, Ken, you remember what you're into?
Yeah.
All right, that's the show. Everybody, as we say every show, it is an amazing time to be alive and be a geek. So get out there and do something geeky and come talk to us about it on CNA. Excelsior.
See you next week for Wakanda Forever.
Woohoo!
Yes.
complete nerve or pulled